But what you really need to think is, well, what is the effect of alcohol? What is it actually doing? The key thing to remember here is it doesn't improve with repetition. You have one drink, you feel good, and you feel confident. You have 2 drinks and you're chatting away. You have 3 drinks and the next thing you know, you're not making any sense at all. And it definitely goes up, peaks, and then takes a rapid descent. So use it wisely. As for what can you do to replicate the effect of a drink without having a drink? That's an awesome question. I don't have a simple answer to it. It's not like there is some other kind of replacement that might help. Well, for example, meditating on it before starting to speak would possibly be a similar kind of replacement, but obviously, it's kind of stupid to think that you could sit down and just do that like in a social situation, so it doesn't really make sense. But what you really need to think is, well, what is the effect of alcohol? What is it actually doing? Again, what it's doing is it's removing anxiety and things like that. So the way to replicate that without needing that is to learn to not be anxious. It is to identify your anxieties and to dig deep into the core of what causes them and to fix them at the root level. And these things can run deep, and we talked about this a lot in week 2 of MEFA in the session, all about eliminating those 10 mental baggages. And if you've got a lot of those mental baggages, well, that's anxiety causing, because if you're comparing yourself to other people, you are going to be looking at other people and saying, well, he's better than me, she's better than me, that means I'm crap, oh my god, everybody thinks I'm stupid. That's a kind of anxiety. So it's really a case of identifying those problems, not just on a surface level, but on the deeper root cause level and removing them. Then, with that comes confidence. It's also, I guess, about understanding what confidence is and where confidence comes from. This is something I talked about a lot in my book, Fearless Fluency, which is based on the bonus training that you've all got. So go and have a look at that if you haven't already. In that, it talks a lot about the 3 core fears that all people have, and that really are at the center of anxiety and of this lack of confidence when it comes to feeling, and this almost sheer terror of being judged negatively because of our English. Just understanding those 3 core fears can do an awful lot for improving our confidence, and as confidence increases and as we stop giving so much of a shit what people think, then naturally that is, again, the same kind of effect is what alcohol is basically doing, although that's an instant suppressant. What we're talking about here is a process that takes longer, but it is a longer term permanent solution. Another good thing that you might do, and this is a book I recommend a lot, you don't necessarily have to read the book because there's also a blog post that came first, and that's what the book was based on, but look up a book/blog post by a guy called Mark Manson, and it's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And as the title suggests, that's what it's all about. This maybe kind of goes way beyond like the question that you just asked, but it's something that I recommend to people a lot, because ultimately that is where a lot of people's problems regarding English come from, is simply caring too much about what people think of them. And often those people are people you really shouldn't care about their opinions at all. So with that, again, what it's all about is awareness building and confidence building.